MLP Series Review Season 5, Episode 9, Slice of Life. Okay, so unfortunately, this episode had the unfortunateness of following that Gilda episode, and that Gilda episode was super, super good. Um, this episode was just a love letter to the fans, and it was a badly written love letter because it was like, we're gonna give you all of these background ponies, but they're gonna be nothing like you have them in the fandom. So like, um, it was about Cranky and Matilda's wedding, and it focused on background ponies instead of the main six. The main six are fighting like some bugbear, and they're kind of in the background. So what happens is, and the biggest issue that I have with this episode is that it's basically three pairs. Well, four pairs. It's Matilda and Cranky. Who cares? It's Scratch and Octavia. I very much care. It's Lyra and Bonbon. Okay, that's fine. And it's Dr. Hooves and Derpy. I care about that one too. Dr. Hooves and Derpy, they did an amazing job on because he's literally Dr. Hooves. He says Alonzi. She's Derpy. They don't say Derpy, but she's just Derpy and she's adorable and it's fantastic. 10 out of 10. This episode would be perfect if it was just them two. Unfortunately, it's not just them two. Then they do Lyra and Bonbon. And instead of just making Lyra and Bonbon gay, like the fandom has, they are that. So if you're gonna do a love letter to the fan, just have them be like that. No, they give Bonbon like she's a secret agent and she works for the government and blah blah blah. And it's just like, this is stupid. Like, why Bonbon isn't even her name? It's like Sweetie Drops or something, and it's just like, this is stupid. I don't know why you would do this. Like, is it the it's a joke? It's a joke, and it doesn't work because nobody really nobody really wanted that. And then um they do Scratch and Octavia, and my problem with Scratch and Octavia is they made them live in Ponyville, and it's like, I don't think Octavia would live in Ponyville. They live together, which is fine because that is the fandom, and they're not together, which is fine because the fandom is kind of mixed on that. But then they live in Ponyville, and I just don't see Octavia living in Ponyville as a classical performer. Like, when would she perform in Ponyville? They're not highfalutin like in Canterlot. I would definitely much more understand her being living in Canterlot. Um, I also don't really, if they're not a couple, I don't see Octavia performing with Scratch. It makes more sense that they fall in love and they perform together as opposed to they're friends and they perform together. Um, the one fan fiction where where Thunderlane talks to her, like, yeah, I don't see them performing together at all. I don't think that, like, when she considers her sister, I don't think that they would perform together. I just don't see it as. So if you're not going to make them a couple, then don't make them perform together. My really, really, really big gripe with this episode is they throw Celestia and Luna into this episode. And my problem with that is they're not background ponies. Celestia and Luna are not background ponies. Why would you do this? They also do Cadence and Shining Armor, and it's like, those aren't background ponies either. This is not. This is not. I guess Spike was there. It's my issue is this: they're bickering, of course. They get their resolution because that's what Celestia and Luna get. They get stupid bickering and then resolution really quick. That's what they get all the time, and it's annoying. They're arguing over who brought the present, and it's like, dude, they wouldn't be fighting like this. Ugh. Just because they're sisters. My goodness, Apple Bloom and Applejack don't fight like this. Um, but yeah, it's an okay episode. It's not trash by any means. And I wouldn't say it's middle of the road. Um, the issue you have is, unless you're part of the fandom, the episode itself is kind of just like, I don't really understand what's going on. Like, why are all these ponies like this, and like, why would I care about any of this? Um, but yeah, if you're a fan of the show, I'd say it's the 3.5. If you're just watching the show and if you not if you're a fan of the show, if you know the fandom, because you could be a fan of the show and never know the fandom, and you wouldn't know why any of these characters are the way that they are or anything. If you're a fan of the fandom, I'd say it was like a 3.5. Maybe you could put it lower because, like I said, I would give it a 3.5 just because it's Derpy and Doctor Who's. They did a really good job on them. Doctor Who's was spot on, perfect, and Derpy was really good too. Um, but if you're not a fan of the show and you're just not a fan of the fandom and you're a fan of the show, I'd say it was definitely like a 3, maybe even like a 2.5, but a 3. I give it, since I'm a fan of the fandom, I'd give it like a 3.5 and say it was a pretty decent episode.